2001, you teamed with Steve Austin. You did there was the cowboy hats, there was the Jimmy Crack Corn, but then you guys also then faced off in like a serious feud, and you won the title from him. What was it like working with Steve Austin? And do you have any good Steve Austin stories for us?
Well, Steve was he was different. He what he did for the business, and it's nothing short of incredible. He found a niche, he found a character that people related to, that they enjoyed watching, and he really ran with it. This guy, he still had years and years ahead of him. When he left the company, it was because of his neck and his back. I know he felt robbed because he knew he had plenty of years left to entertain the fans. And unfortunately, his body wasn't doing so well. And, when I wrestled Steve, he was one of the best in-ring generals I ever worked with. He was a guy that could improvise, change stuff up at the spur of the moment, and just go in a different direction and lead you, and the match would be just as good as it was planned out to be. Steve was incredibly talented. He was a great entertainer. I loved doing the comedy skits with him. We had so much fun with the cowboy hats. And Vince McMahon, and when we were doing the pre-tapes, it was funny. Vince would say, listen, I know this is kind of crazy, where everybody's going to be laughing, and, but please do not laugh until the pre-tape's over. So we would do these pre-tapes, and he's like, we don't have all night to do this because we have to get them to the truck before the show starts. So the pre-tapes happen before the show. So everything you see backstage during the show happens earlier in the day. So Vince wanted to get them out of the way. He didn't want to do them live during the show. So Steve and I were, doing these comedy skits, and they were so fucking funny. And Vince, after like 3 pre-tapes, I kept laughing. And Vince was like, okay. The next person that fucking laughs, you're getting fined $2,000. I said, oh, shit. I said, well, does that count if I do it multiple times? He said, yes. Every time you laugh, it's $2,000. Well, I ended up that night, I spent $14,000. Vince fined me 14 grand. Holy shit. I didn't get paid that much that night to work, so it's fucking crazy. But we had the best time in the world. Vince and Steve and I, we had great chemistry, and it was so much fun doing it, and I hope all of you enjoyed it.
I mean, I've got to ask you, because as a wrestler, how did you feel when Steve Austin started doing the what stuff? How did that affect you?
That was a pain in the ass. Okay, don't start pissing me off now. The what chance, the reason why I hated him so badly is because I couldn't get a fucking word out. Whenever I would say a sentence and I'd pause, you would, and it would confuse me, okay? I get a little raveled in the head and say, okay, what the fuck was I supposed to say next? And it was crazy. And, when Steve did that, I started doing my promos where I wouldn't pause anymore. So I'd be like, I'm Kurt Angle, and I'm here in this town, and I'm not going to stop talking until I continue to talk until the end of the promo, because I didn't want to hear a fucking what. So, okay, that's enough. But, Steve came up with some of the greatest stuff, and, the whole what chant. You know how much money he made from that one fucking word? Like $15 million. That's crazy. Exactly.
Were people frustrated when they were working with him that would, because it ended up happening all over the show, not just in Austin's segments. Were people getting upset about it that it kept happening?
Yeah, it wasn't just Steve anymore. It just became like its own animal. And everybody was saying it during every promo and every pre-tape, and sometimes in the middle of matches. And but it was Stone Cold that made it up, and I think that's why it became viral.
Vince, a team of psychiatrists could spend a career working on Vince McMahon, and in the end, Vince would still be Vince, and the psychiatrist would be in a rubber room at the Puzzle Factory.